You think Hollywood actors live the dream? Red carpets, private jets, millions per movie. But what if I told you that 90% of professional actors are unemployed at any given time? Only 2% make a living from acting. And the median hourly wage for actors in America has dropped 56% in the last decade. The spotlight isn't what you think it is. Nobody warns you. Let me show you what it's really like. You're 14 years old, you're watching the Oscars with your family. An actor walks up to the podium, tears in their eyes, holding a golden statue, thanking their parents for believing in them when nobody else did. The crowd is standing. The music is swelling, and something inside you whispers, that could be me. So you start acting. School plays, community theater. You're good? People tell you you're good. Your drama teacher says you have it. You don't know what it is, but you know you feel more alive on stage than anywhere else. You start posting monologues on social media. You get compliments. You get followers, and by the time you graduate high school, you've made a decision that will quietly ruin the next 15 years of your life. You're moving to Los Angeles to become an actor. Nobody stops you. Nobody's dreams are beautiful, but nobody sits you down and tells you the math. And the math is devastating. There are roughly 160,000 members of SAG-AFTRA, the union that represents professional actors in America. At any given time, 90% of them are unemployed. Not between jobs, not resting, unemployed. That's not a rough estimate. That's the industry's own number. 9 out of 10 professional union card-carrying trained actors are not working as actors right now. And of the ones who do work, only 12% earned more than $1,000 from acting in an entire year. $1,000 in a year. That's not a salary. That's a bad weekend in LA. But you're different. You're talented. Everyone says so. You land in Los Angeles with a suitcase, a headshot, and about $3,000 in savings. You get an apartment with 2 roommates in a part of the city that your family would not feel comfortable visiting. Rent is $1,400 a month for your share of a room. You get a job waiting tables because that's what actors do. You tell yourself it's temporary, just until you get your break. Then the auditions start, and the rejections start faster. The average actor auditions 64 times before booking a single job. 64. And only 2% of actors who audition for a role actually get it. So you wake up, put on your best outfit, drive 45 minutes across. Because nothing in LA is close to anything. Wait in a room with 200 people who look exactly like you. Perform a 90-second monologue in front of 3 people who are looking at their phones, and then drive home and wait, and wait, and wait. The phone doesn't ring, nobody emails. You check your spam folder. Nothing. You do this 15 to 20 times a month. Meanwhile, you're spending money you don't have. Cost $500 to $1,500. Acting classes run $200 to $400 a month. And you need them because everyone else is taking them. SAG-AFTRA. Membership costs $3,000 just to join, plus annual dues. Self-taping equipment, because now most auditions are runs $500 to $1,000. And you're still paying rent, still buying gas, still eating. Your savings evaporated in month 2. Your credit card is doing the heavy lifting now. And the jobs you do get. A SAG background actor, an extra, makes about $182 for an 8-hour day. Non-union extras make even less, sometimes $100 to $150. If you book a speaking role as a day player on a TV show, you might make $1,100 to $1,500 for one day, and then nothing for 3 months. Your annual income from acting in your first few years, probably under $5,000. The median hourly wage for actors in America as of 2022 was $16.70. That's less than an In-N-Out Burger employee in California. So you survive on the side job? You wait tables, you drive Uber, you dog sit. You do anything that has a flexible enough schedule to let you leave for an audition at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. And slowly, the identity starts to split. You tell people you're an actor, but you spend 90% of your time being a waiter who occasionally acts. At your sumi point, maybe you're 2, maybe you're 3. You stop correcting people when they call you a waiter. But let's say you beat the odds. Let's say you're in the 2%. You book a recurring role on a TV show. You get a real paycheck, $5,000 to $15,000 per episode as a guest star. Maybe even $21,000 or more per episode as a series regular. The money is finally real. Your family calls you. Your old classmates follow you on Instagram. You're living the dream for 1 season. Because here's what nobody tells you about Hollywood careers. Most of them last a single year. Researchers found they could predict with 85% accuracy whether an actor's most productive year has already passed. The industry rewards novelty. The moment you're not new anymore, you start becoming invisible. There's always someone younger, cheaper, and more willing. Your show gets canceled. Your agent stops returning calls as fast. The auditions slow down. And suddenly you're back in the room with 200 people. Except now you're 32 instead of 22. And the casting directors are looking for 22-year-olds. And through all of this, the rejection, the poverty, the identity erosion, your mind is taking damage. Entertainment industry professionals are approximately 3 times more likely to struggle with mental health challenges than the general population. Actors report higher rates of depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and suicidal ideation. Nearly 40% of actors reported difficulty letting go of emotionally taxing roles, characters bleeding to real life. Some actors describe a kind of identity confusion where they're no longer sure where the character ends, and they begin. Method actors who immerse themselves in dark roles sometimes carry that darkness home. Heath Ledger, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Robin Williams. The list of actors who battled depression, addiction, or took their own lives is long enough to fill an entire video by itself. And the rejection doesn't just hurt your feelings, it reshapes your brain. When your value as a human being is judged 15 to 20 times per month, your face, your voice, your body, your energy, and the answer is no 98% of the time, something inside you starts to believe the no. You develop a relationship with rejection that no other profession requires. Imagine applying for 64 jobs and getting 63 rejections before someone says yes, and then being told that's normal. That's the baseline. That's Tuesday. And if you're a woman, it's worse. The pressure to maintain a specific appearance is relentless. Weight, skin, age, there's a window, roughly 22 to 35, where Hollywood considers you most castable. And after that, the roles evaporate unless you're already a star. For men, the window is wider. For women, the clock is louder. Years pass. You're 35 now. Maybe you made it, maybe you didn't. If you did, you're in a tiny minority, living a life that looks incredible from the outside. If you didn't, and statistically, you didn't, you're sitting in your apartment in Los Angeles, looking at your headshot from 2015, wondering what happened to the person in that photo. You waited tables for a decade. You went to 800 auditions. You booked maybe 15 jobs. You made the list. Than a public school teacher every single year. And the thing that hurts the most isn't the money. It's that you gave your youth, your confidence, and your sense of self to an industry that never even learned your name. Then one evening, you're scrolling social media, and a clip pops up. It's the Oscars. An actor walks to the podium, tears in their eyes, golden statue. I want to thank my parents for believing in me when nobody else did. And in the comments, there's a 14-year-old kid who wrote, "That's going to be me someday." And your chest tightens because you said that once in that same living room watching that same show. and you believed it with every cell in your body, and you chased it with everything you had. And the industry took everything and gave back almost nothing. You want to reply, you want to type? Don't. Please. Do literally anything else. But you don't. Because who listens to the waiter who used to act? So you close your phone, you go to bed, and somewhere in a different city, a 14-year-old kid is already practicing their Oscar speech in the mirror. And the cycle continues. Thanks for watching. Phase 2 is just getting started, and it only gets darker from here. Subscribe now because the next video is going to make this one look gentle. Drop your career suggestions in the comments. I actually read them. Click on screen for the next one, and I'll see you there.